song to sing to. But don't you ask me to give you a song. I won't know the words to use, I won't know where they belong. But if you give me one of yours, I will make it my own. And it would be the sweetest song that I have ever known. Hey, 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 what about me? I've got some feelings on my mind too. Hey, 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 what about me? I'd like to have a song to sing to. I'd like to have a song to sing to. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to Celtic Lodge, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. It's beautiful here, isn't it? The scenery, the lodge, and especially the floors. I should know. My first summer job was right here scrubbing them. And then I had to wax them. They still look great. And that song you just heard was the very first song I ever recorded while I was still living here in Nova Scotia. As many of you know, I was born here. Most of my family still lives here, and we spend all our summers here. So tonight is a wonderful opportunity for me to show you my home and its rich cultural and musical diversity. Celtic, Acadian, and gospel. All of my guests are from Nova Scotia: Rita McNeil, the Rankin family, the Gospel Airs, and the Men of the Deeps. There's more. We're going to take it to lots of beautiful places all over the province. But right now, I'd like you to meet a group from Mabou, Cape Breton. Their sound is young and contemporary, but you can hear the Celtic influences. In Neils Harbor, here's the Rankin family.
Step gaily on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe. Arm and row and row, all for Maddie's wedding. Over hill, ways up and down, birds of green and black and brown. Past the shillings through the town, all for the sake of Maddie. Step gaily on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe. Arm and row and row, all for Maddie's wedding. Plenty herring, plenty meal,
beautiful island of Cape Breton is off Nova Scotia's eastern shore. Originally inhabited by Mi'kmaq Indians, its early settlers were French, Irish, and Scottish. Some of the most spectacular scenery in the world is here, like the famous Cabot Trail. You can visit the Highland Village Museum, which portrays the early life of Scottish settlers. Cheticamp is a picturesque Acadian fishing village, renowned for, among other things, their lobster. The fortress of Louisbourg recreates life in the French garrison in the summer of 1744, when it was a thriving seaport and the capital of Ile Royale, as Cape Breton was then called. Cape Breton is a vacationer's dream. Sparkling clear water, a festival almost every other day, sailing, picnicking, and miles of unspoiled beaches. Right now, I'd like you to meet a woman whose voice is as pure as the air in Cape Breton. Please welcome my special guest, Rita McNeil.
She grows on you slowly the first time you meet. There's just so much beauty the heart can believe, and you want to stay longer, and she's ever so pleased. You're one of the many who don't want to leave. So walk through the green fields, go down to the sea. The fortune in your eyes is more like a dream. She's called Nova Scotia, and she so makes you feel you discovered a treasure no other has seen. It's hard to remember the places you've been, for once in her presence she's all that you see, and she cradles you softly like a warm, gentle breeze, and wins your heart over with a feeling of peace. So walk through her green fields, go down to the sea. The fortune in your eyes is more like a dream. She's called Nova Scotia, and she so makes you feel you've discovered a treasure no other has seen. She welcomes the strangers from faraway shores, while deep down inside her some walk through her soul. And at night in her slumber the wind softly calls, and awakens her spirit that lives in us all. So walk through her green fields, go down to the sea. The fortune in your eyes is more like a dream. She's called Nova Scotia, and she's so makes you feel you've discovered a treasure no other has seen. You discovered a treasure no other has seen.
That was beautiful, Rita. I get a lump in my throat when you sing that song.
Thank you, Ann. And I guess that's something we both share. No matter where we go, Nova Scotia's always in our hearts.
Well, that's absolutely true, but we do have something else in common, and that is we've both recorded your song, Flying on Your Own.
And I can't tell you how happy I was you decided to do that.
Well, are you kidding? It's a great song and such a positive message for women. I'd love it if you'd sing it with me.
Well, why don't you start it?
My pleasure. You were never more strong, girl. You were never more alone. Once there were two, now there's just you. You're flying on your own.
You were never more happy, girl. You were never, oh, so blue. Once heartaches begin, nobody wins. You're flying on your own. And when you know the wings you ride can keep you in the sky, there isn't anyone holding back you. First you stumble, then you fall. You reach out and you fly. There isn't anything that you can't do. You were never more wise, girl. You were never more a fool. Once you break through, it's all up to you. You're flying on your own. You were never more together. You were never more apart. Once pieces of you were all that you knew. You're flying on your own. And when you know the wings you ride can keep you in the sky, there isn't anyone holding back you. First you stumble, then you fall. You reach out and you fly. There isn't anything that you can't out on my ride on warm afternoons. Old men go fishing with black line and spoons, and if they catch nothing, they never complain. I wish I was with them again. As boys in their boats call to girls on the shore, teasing the ones that they dearly adore. And into the evening, the chorus piece of the universe, more fit for princes and kings. I'll trade you 10 of your cities for Marion Bridge and the pleasure it brings. Out on the Myra on soft summer nights, bonfires blaze to the children's delight. They dance round the flames, singing songs with their friends, and I wish I was with them again. Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings? I'll trade you 10 of your cities for Marion Bridge and the pleasure it brings. Now I'll conclude with a wish you go well. Sweet be your dreams and your happiness swell. I'll leave you here, for my journey begins. I'm going to be with them, going to be with them. I'm going to be with them again. Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings? I'll trade you 10 of your cities for Marion Bridge and the pleasure it brings. I wish I was with them, wish I was with them. I'm going to be with them again.
Song for the Myra is one of my all-time favorites, and I don't think there's a Maritimer anywhere who doesn't know every single word. It's practically an anthem here, and it was written by Alistair McGilvery, who, by the way, lives on the Myra River just down the road here. We have such a rich tradition of singers and songwriters, from Alistair and Wilf Carter to Rita McNeil and the Rankins. Singing in this part of the world is as much a part of our lives as the air we breathe. Every party has a sing-along like this one. Here's the first song I ever heard about Nova Scotia. Hank Snow recorded it in 1959. There's a place I'll always cherish 'neath the blue Atlantic skies, where the shores down in Cape Breton bids the golden sun to rise, and the fragrance of the apple blossoms praise the dew-kissed lawn, back in dear old Nova Scotia, the place where I was born. Now everybody sing and see if you can remember the words.
Down to beautiful New Brunswick and across to BDI, to the rock-bound coast of Newfoundland, I love them till I die. But if God came here on earth with us and asked if he could rest, I'd take him to my Nova Scotia home, the place that I love best. I'd take him to my Nova Scotia home, the place that I love best.
All right. Jimmy, you've written a song about a place close to here. Why don't you sing it?
Okay. The station master looked all around, along the track, both up and down. But the train could not be found. There was neither sight nor sound. There was neither sight nor sound. The winds of the orange-tail whistle will always blow. Will always blow.
Rita, it's your turn.
I see the mountains, feel the salt air. I have reasons to behold all the wonders that never cease to be. You're as timeless as the water. You're as gentle as the fields. I caress you, oh, Cape Breton, in my dreams. And oh, I believe, oh, I believe that each heart's a beacon. Oh, I believe that each heart's a beacon. Oh, I believe.
Now here's one we were weaned on. The sun was setting in the west. The birds were singing on every tree. All nature seemed inclined for a rest, but still there was no rest for me. Everybody now.
Farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? Farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? Will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me?
Halifax is the capital of Nova Scotia. There's the legendary Bluenose 2 docked at Halifax's historic properties, which you can see is a pretty popular place. Just outside of Halifax, stretching all the way to Yarmouth, are some of the most beautiful sights you'll ever see along Nova Scotia's famous lighthouse route. Fishing ports, coves, towns, each has its own charm. And let's not forget the world-famous Peggy's Cove, or Lunenburg, where the Bluenose schooners were built. Birchtown was the site of the largest free black settlement in North America, which is perhaps why gospel music is so much a part of our musical heritage. Today we're going to meet Nova Scotia's best-known gospel group, whose roots go back 200 years in this province. From St. James Anglican Church, at the site of the three famous churches on Mahone Bay, please welcome the Gospelaires.
If you have a problem that seems heavy on your mind, and a burden seems to press you down. Oh yeah, I know a man who can solve your problem. He'll lift your burdens and he'll lighten up your load. His name is Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, the everlasting Father. He is the Prince of Peace. And this is what the Lord says, Brother Alex.
If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you will ask what you will, it shall be done unto you.
Hey, 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 come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. His name is Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, the everlasting Father. He is the Prince of Peace. Ooh, my peace I leave with you. I'll give it to you. Not as the world is given unto you. His name, Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, the everlasting Father. He is the Prince of Peace. His name, Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, the everlasting Father. I'm so glad about it. He is the Prince of Peace. I know, there's no doubt in my mind because he picked me up and he turned me around. Picks me up, turns me around, places my feet on solid ground. Can't nobody do me like Jesus, 'cause he is the Prince of Peace. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. He is the Prince of
Every time I look into the holy book, I want to tremble. When I read about the part where a carpenter cleared the temple. For the buyers and the sellers were no different fellas than what I profess to be. And it causes me shame to know I'm not the gal that I should be. Put your hand in the hand of the man who still the water. Put your hand in the hand of the man who come to see. Take a look at yourself and you can look at others differently. Put your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. Mama taught me how to pray before I reached the age of 7. When I'm down on my knees, that's when I'm close to heaven. Daddy lived his life with 2 kids and a wife. You do what you must do. But he showed me enough of what it takes to get you through. So put your hand in the hand of the man who's still the water. your hand in the hand of the man who come to see. Take a look at yourself and you can look at others differently. By putting your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. Put your hand in the hand of the man who stilled the water. Put your hand in the hand of the man who calmed the sea. Take a look at yourself and you can look at others differently. Put your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. Whoa, yeah, yeah. No trip to Nova Scotia is complete without visiting Spring Hill, my birthplace, and of course, home of the Anne Murray Center. Southwest of Spring Hill lies the beautiful Annapolis Valley. In 1605, 15 years before the Pilgrims landed in Massachusetts, a small party of French explorers, among them Samuel de Champlain, came to the land of the Micmacs and established a fur trading post, which later became the community of Port Royal. This is a reconstruction of the original site, which was burned down in 1613. This is the view that my mother's ancestor, Antoine Beliveau, saw when he landed here in 1645 in the French colony of Acadia. After about a century of conflict, the British took control and renamed it Nova Scotia. In 1755, they expelled the Acadians, but some of them escaped, and I'm living proof. My great-great-great-grandfather, Piau Beliveau, Antoine's grandson, seized a British ship, threw the captain overboard, and headed for New Brunswick to hide out. He later came back, as many Acadians did, but eventually went back to New Brunswick, where it's said that he lived to be 110. Not all were so fortunate. Here in Grand Pre is the statue of Evangeline, the heroine of Longfellow's poem about the expulsion of the Acadians. In it, Evangeline is separated from her fiancé as they are being deported. She spends the rest of her life searching for him and eventually finds him just before he dies. Legend has it that depending on which side of the statue you look, she's either a young happy girl or a sad woman mourning her lost love. It was at this cross that the Acadians were assembled and taken in small boats to this place, Planter's Landing, where they were shipped out to sea. This song is called If I Ever See You Again. Si jamais je te revois, moi qui ai le mal de toi, je t'avouerai mon désarroi. Si jamais je te revois, je me souviens des nuits blanches qu'on dansait mais comme les songes, ce désir qui me manque sans toi. Ce n'était pour moi qu'un jeu, je m'ennuie de ce feu, de l'amour dans tes yeux. Pour moi, si jamais je te revois, moi qui ai le mal de toi, je t'avouerai mon désarroi. Si jamais je te revois, je me perds dans les souvenirs des choses que j'aurais dû dire, qui me font maintenant souffrir. Sans toi, la joie de vivre, je l'ai perdue. Tes larmes chez moi, y en a plus. Cet amour si vécu. Pourquoi? Si jamais je te revois, si jamais je te revois. No matter where you are in Nova Scotia, you're never more than a half hour from the water. The call of the sea is part of our lives and spirit. This song was written 7 years ago by Cape Breton's Leon Dubinsky. Since then, it has increased steadily in popularity as a signature song for the Rankin family and as a symbol of our times. Rise Again is about survival, the power of the ocean, and the importance of family and children in our lives. When the waves roll on over the waters and the ocean cries, we look to our sons and daughters to explain our lives, as if a child could tell us why. Sure as the sunrise, sure as the sea, sure as the wind in the trees, we rise again
In the faces of our children,
we rise again,
in the voices of our song,
we rise again,
in the waves out on the ocean.
and then we rise again.
When the night goes dark with the forces of creation across a stormy sky, we look to reincarnation to explain our lives, as if a child could tell us why. And as sure as the sunrise, as sure as the sea, sure as the wind in the trees, we rise
McNeil, the Rankin family, the Gospel Heirs, the Men of the Deeps, the people of Nova Scotia, and all of you for a wonderful evening. Good night. I'll be home. I'll be home when your life's in trouble and you're all alone, when you're feeling down and need some sympathy, and there's no one else around to keep you company. I'll be here to comfort you and see you through. I'll be home, I'll be home, I'll be home. I'll be home, oh yes she will. I'll be home, even in the morning, wherever you may wander, or wherever you may roam. You come back and I'll be waiting here for you, 'cause there's no one else who'll ever love you the way I do. Remember, baby, you can always count on me. I'll be home, I'll be home, I'll be home.
To order your shipping, handling, GST, and PST were applicable. Visa and MasterCard accepted.